3rd and 6 at the 8. Breeze pumps. Now going to be under duress, and he fumbled the ball. It's live, and Umanura's got it. O.C. Umanura on the soft jog, picking up speed at the 30. Umanura the 20, 15, 10, 5 to the house. 86-yard fumble return for O.C. Umanura, and the game is over at the Superdome in New Orleans.
From the Arena Sports Network, this is the ALR Express, presented by Sowers Ford Lincoln Mercury.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to the ALR Express. Here on the Afternoon Locker Room, the ALR Express is brought to you by your fabulous friends at Sowers Ford Lincoln Mercury, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln Mercury dealer. Alvin Washington in the building. Give us a call real quick, 573-200-6505. We'll be here for the next half hour, checking out some really, really hot topics that have popped up like gangbusters. I mean, like I haven't even sat down good enough. It's like boom, like whoa, like boom, like whoa, like boom, like whoa. Yeah, you know, we'll do this as it pops up here, there, and everywhere. How are you doing? How you living, America? Hope everybody has gotten to their destinations, ready to enjoy this fabulous holiday. Now, we're not going to do this regularly throughout the holidays, though. I mean, whenever this, but for the time being, you know, we'll just stay put and do what we do best. Again, welcome to the ALR Express. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening in the NFL. As you heard from 790 to the zone, it was the Falcons knocking off the New Orleans Saints. That final was 30-14. Of course, Uzi Umanura with the game-closing 86-yard fumble recovery. And you get the feeling that the Drew Brees era in New Orleans may be coming to a close. I mean, this is a really uncharacteristic year for the Saints to now be 5-9 on the now 6-9. Absolutely no chance of winning the NFC South because of the tiebreakers, which makes next week's Falcons-Panthers game the NFC South Championship. So good luck to Carolina and Atlanta, and you know, whoever wins, God bless you, but because it's going to get ugly as soon as you get to the playoffs. Other scores around the league. The one I'm shocked at is Washington and Philadelphia. This is one that's supposed to be clearly the Eagles are just going to walk away with this. Redskins jumped out to a 10-7 lead. It was back and forth. And the Eagles had the opportunity to close the door on the Redskins until Mark Sanchez must have caught a brain cramp, threw an interception, and then a few plays later, here comes a field goal. Redskins put the Eagles on the brink, 27-24. Then came the Cowboys.
2nd and 11, Romo looks right. Looks middle. Oh, he's got Whitten at the 5. Touchdown leading man. Merry Christmas and have a seat. 4 for Romo. 25 to Kevin Whitten. Oh, the stockings are overrunning and the eggnog is spilling out onto the kitchen floor.
105.3 The Fan with that call as the Cowboys just absolutely obliterate the Indianapolis Colts, who already with the AFC title in hand. That final 42-7, the Colts barely continuing a league second best 336 game scoring streak. People already calling for Tony Romo to be MVP. Pump your brakes right now. I mean, this has been an up and down season for Tony Romo. Yes, he has the number one QBR. That crazy ESPN statistic. He has the number one QBR in the league. You know, his completion percentage is among the top 3. Touchdowns are up there as well. And I believe with the third touchdown pass that he threw, he surpassed. Matter of fact, it was this pass that he threw to Jason Witten that he surpassed Troy Aikman's Cowboys franchise record for career passing yards. All that's good. Cowboys don't have to worry about getting into the playoffs. They've got the East title. But what's going to be telling is when you get into the playoffs. Is it going to be one and done like it did last time? See, that seems to be Tony Romo's calling card. The only way that doesn't happen is if, and only if, DeMarco Murray continues to do what he does, and that is lead that rushing core. Broken hand and all, he got out there, he got his yards, even got a touchdown in the mix. I got to hand it to the kid. He's tough. If he steps in there next week for that final game of the regular season, hey, props to him. I'll give him my MVP vote right now. DeMarco Murray as MVP of the league. Because it's DeMarco Murray that has made Tony Romo look good, not the other way around. Yeah, sure, Des Bryant has come up finally and become the player everybody wants him to be. But it all starts with that running attack. And that running attack gets behind an offensive line that I think is finally getting its bearings, finally getting its continuity, and finally doing what it's supposed to do, and that's protect not only Tony Romo, but protect those holes for DeMarco Murray and John Randall and the rest of the crew to come through. So, yeah, it is definitely on and popping down in Big D. Congratulations. ALR Express, presented by Sowers Ford Lincoln Mercury. This portion brought to you by LaPorte County Life and LaPorteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news as we continue on? Week 16, our recap. Here was a strange one. End of the game between the Vikings and the Dolphins. Dolphins were up 8 points early fourth quarter. Vikings had just scored to go down by 1. Dolphins muff the kickoff. Vikings then score. They're back up by 7. Nice drive to answer that by Ryan Tannehill, whose 4th touchdown of the day tied the game at 35. It was this play on 4th down with the Vikings backed up in the end zone that really got things pumping.
Jet block. Stands about 3 yards away. They roll it back. It's blocked it. How about now? And it goes out the back of the end zone. It's a safety. Miami has the lead. I can't believe he went off the punt. The snap didn't get back to him. He grabbed and kicked it. The Dolphins block it. And it goes out of the end zone. Safety. I don't believe what I just saw.
WINZ Miami with that one. Terrence Feedy on special teams with the block of the punt. The snap really was low, and that's probably the key to that whole sequence. The block punt went out of the end zone. 2 points for Miami. And that was all she wrote, 37-35. it was the first time in the long history of the NFL that a safety was the final score in regulation for either club deciding a ball game. And having watched that, I was like, wow. Somebody's smiling on the Miami Dolphins because they have been fighting their behinds off trying to get into the playoffs. I mean, literally. They have a win over New England. They're still in the hunt. They're still in it. We'll talk about that and other things across the break. But what I like about this Miami Dolphins team is the fact that they've come around big time from last year. Last year was just a mess. I mean, a big mess. Richie Incognito and all that entailed. Some late goof-ups down the stretch. And it was just another sad season in South Beach. This year, I don't know. These boys are on the verge of something. If they somehow, some way, can slip into the playoffs, I'm telling you, it's, man, let Miami make the playoffs this year. It's going to be something. Speaking of something, how about the resurgence of the world champions, the Seahawks? Just absolutely stomp a cot-picking mud hole in Arizona in the University of Phoenix Stadium. 35-6 to final. This run, if somebody does not put Marshawn Lynch up for MVP consideration, something's wrong with them.
Second and 11, roll, looks right. Looks middle. Oh, he's got it! At the 5, touchdown to the big man. Merry Christmas and have a seat. 4 for Romo. 25.
Okay, no, not you guys. You guys.
Burnham Lynch, he stutter steps, breaks through the line, makes a man miss, cuts back outside right 30, 35, 40, down the far sidelines, pushes the defender, keeps fighting, he's still moving, he's going to go, down to the 20, the 15, they're chasing at 10, he dives in, are you kidding me?
What a run!
Touchdown, Seahawks! Holy catfish, 79 yards, and that made Beastquake look like a walk in the park.
Yeah, everybody remembers Beastquake from a few years back, huh? 710 ESPN in Seattle. The legendary Steve Rabel on the call. Even he's probably losing his voice even as we speak. Marshawn Lynch, career best 79-yard run. 35-6 was the final. As the Seahawks not only lock up a playoff spot, with a win next week, they could sneak past Green Bay and get, dare I say, home field advantage, which means everybody in the NFC got to come to CenturyLink. Ooh, that's going to be gnarly. And to consider that in the middle of this year, the Seahawks would look anything but world champs. You don't suppose the trading of Percy Harvin might have shaken this team and awakened this team at its core? That may possibly be one of the biggest moves in this franchise's history. You never know. A few other scores to talk about here. Raiders 26-24 over the Bills. That takes care of the Bills' chances to get into the playoffs. Wow. They were right there on the doorstep. And there go them Raiders, who unfortunately won't be moving to Los Angeles anytime soon, thanks to Roger